Hello friends, how are you all? Today I want to share a very important information with you that just after this COVID crisis, just after this Corona crisis, we may have to face another pandemic, and that is plague pandemic. We may have to face, we are not sure. Recently, it has been found in China only, again in China only. Plague is caused by Yersinia pestis. The bacteria Yersinia pestis. And this Yersinia pestis spreads through rat flea. Rat flea means this is a flea. If this flea drinks a rat blood, so what happens? This Yersinia pestis, which is carried by rats, and if this flea, rat flea, bites rats, drinks rats' blood, and then bites humans. So this is how this is the flea. This is called rat flea. This is biting rats, drinking rats' blood, and then biting humans. So transferring this Yersinia pestis from rats to humans. This is how it spreads. We may have to face this pandemic. We may have to face. This is why, because we are importing a lot of products from China, lot of movement through China. So my sincere advice to you would be restrict all these products which you are buying from China. Restrict all the movements from China. Let me share you what this plague is all about and how it spreads through a very small PPT. My dear friends, this is Yersinia pestis. This is Yersinia pestis. This is the causative microorganism for this plague, Yersinia pestis. This is the causative microorganism, this bacteria. It spreads through rats. So what is the precaution? What precaution has to be taken? In your home, you should avoid all the articles. At your home, you should avoid all the articles which are inviting rats. Maybe some wooden articles, maybe some food, which is inviting rats to come inside your home. So the take home message is you should not keep any articles at your home which are inviting rats. You have to avoid rats because this Yersinia pestis spreads through rats. This is the rat flea. This is rat flea. My dear friends, this rat flea drinks rat's blood. And then when it bites humans, it transfers this Yersinia pestis to human beings. Have a look here, my dear friends, how this plague spreads. This Yersinia pestis, bacteria, this is the bacteria here. This multiply here in flea's abdomen. This is the rat here. Look here what's written here. This, look here. Rat carries this plague bacteria, and then when this flea drinks rat's blood, this bacteria enters here in the flea and it multiplies in flea's abdomen. And when this flea bites humans, this is how it reaches human. So the motive, the intention to make this video is to alarm all my dear friends that we should avoid all the articles which are inviting these rats in our home and these fleas in our home. We can avoid these fleas by using insecticides, like we can use DDT and benzene hexachloride, DDT and BHC, that is benzene hexachloride. Just spray DDT in your home. Just spray this BHC, which is benzene hexachloride, in your home. This is how you will avoid these fleas. And how will you avoid rats? Don't keep any articles, whether it is a food material or any wooden articles which are inviting rats in our home. So what we have to do? Avoid rats, avoid rat flea. How we will avoid rat fleas? By using DDT and benzene hexachloride. How we will avoid rats? By not keeping any food articles and other articles which are inviting rats. Two very important things to prevent plague. Plague is of three types. My dear friends, plague is of three types. One is pneumonic plague, other is bubonic plague, and third one is septicemic plague. So there are three types of plague: pneumonic plague, bubonic plague, and septicemic plague. Pneumonic plague, my dear friends, pneumonic plague means when this Yersinia pestis infects our lungs, it enters our lungs. Bubonic plagues, when this Yersinia pestis involves our lymph nodes. This is called bubonic plague. And septicemic plague, my dear friends, septicemic plague is when this Yersinia pestis enters our blood. So there are three types of plagues. If it enters lungs, this is pneumonic plague. If it enters lymph nodes, this is bubonic plague. If it enters blood, this is septicemic plague. What will happen if it is a bubonic plague, as it is written here? If it is a bubonic plague, as I told you, what happens? There is enlargement of lymph nodes here. What you can see enlarged lymph nodes here in axilla or in groin region. Axilla means armpits, or in inguinal region, groin region. There may be enlarged, swollen lymph nodes. So you may notice some swelling in armpit, that is axilla, or in groin region, and that this swelling, if it is large enough, it may cause pain also. Look here. This is how you can appreciate, this is how you can notice some enlarged lymph node here in your armpit. This is bubonic plague. This is X-ray chest. As I told you, if Yersinia pestis infiltrates in your lungs, this is called pneumonic plague. So this pneumonic plague is very dangerous. If lungs are inflamed, this pneumonic plague can easily spread via coughing. If you are coughing, these tiny droplet nuclei may infect other persons also. So be very careful. We should keep proper isolation. We should wear proper masks. And if this Yersinia pestis enters blood, via blood circulation, it may travel all over the body and may reach here and may cause some gangrenous changes, as you can see here in this food. You can see here all these changes in fingers. It is through septicemic plague, because septicemia means this Yersinia pestis is traveling throughout circulation and reaching all the parts of body, becomes very dangerous. We have treatment for this Yersinia pestis, for this plague. Doxycycline can be used. Streptomycin injection can be used. Friends, if there are mild cases, in mild cases we usually use doxycycline. And in severe cases of plague, we use injection streptomycin. Injection streptomycin is used to treat severe cases, while mild cases are treated by doxycycline. Tetracycline may also be used. And prevention, prophylaxis. Prophylaxis means prevention of this plague. It is done by tetracycline. This tetracycline is taken 500 milligram, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, and one at night. So total 4 tablets in a day for 5 days. This is the prophylaxis of this plague. This is how we can do. This is called chemoprophylaxis via a drug. We can use DDT and benzene hexachloride. This DDT and benzene hexachloride, these sprays, you should spray your home. by this DDT and benzene hexachloride. What will happen by these sprays? What they are going to do? They are for rat flea. They are for rat flea. And how to avoid rats? Two things, rat flea and rats. We won't keep any food article or anything which is inviting rats at our home. Plague vaccine. Actually, plague vaccine is also there. It is used for prevention, but it is not routinely given. Vaccination has limited use. When you are expecting some pandemic, it is given to health workers 10 to 15 days before. This is Yersinia pestis vaccine, my dear friends. But this vaccine is not routinely recommended for general population. It is given to only those persons, those health workers, only those persons who come in close contact. So, what is the take-home message? What is the motive behind making this video? That there is a great risk of this plague pandemic right now. The world is facing a great risk of plague pandemic right now. It has been identified in China only. It has been identified in China only just few days back only, just few days back. This is why try to eat vegetarian food. And why all these things are emerging from China? They are emerging from live animal markets of China. From live animal markets of China. So try to restrict yourself to vegetarian food as far as possible, number one. Avoid importing things from China. To all entrepreneurs, to all businessmen who are importing products from China, we should not use Chinese products. We should be vegetarian as far as possible. Number five, using DDT and BHC, that is benzene hexachloride, for spraying our home to get rid of this rat flea. Finally, we won't keep the articles which are inviting rats at our home. Although we know prophylaxis, tetracycline 500 milligram 4 times in a day. That is a prophylactic drug. Mild cases may be treated by doxycycline or tetracycline. Severe cases may be treated by injection streptomycin. So there is not much to worry, but we should be very careful. We should be alert. And what else we need to do? What else we need to do? Be very careful. Follow proper isolation. Follow proper isolation whenever you are feeling some symptoms. What symptoms you may feel? If it is a pneumonic plague, there may be cough. Khasi aayegi. There may be cough. Sometimes there may be blood-stained sputum along with this cough if lungs are inflamed and capillaries are ruptured. Second plague, bubonic plague. What is happening? Lymph node enlargement, maybe in armpit, maybe in axilla, or maybe in groin region, inguinal region. And third variety is septicemic plague. So symptoms will depend on which type of infection we are carrying, which type of infection we are having. So take care, my dear friends. No, no, no much products from China. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Thank you very much. Take care.